So let's say it's been some time since you've hung out with your family due to the fact that your mother unfortunately passed away. Now you finally gather up the courage to go back home, and home is apparently in Hawaii. But this is a situation that might be a little awkward for you, so you decide to bring your best friend along as a bit of a buffer. Now, something you were not aware of is that your best friend brought one of her friends along for the trip as well. A suggestion is brought up that since your father is about to leave in a day or two for business, and it'll only be you and your sister at home alone, why don't the rest of your friends stay over and you all have a party? A small family reunion does seem to happen before your father has to head out, and it actually seems to help heal the divide that was there. This is also the opportunity where your best friend's friend gets to meet another member of your family, and that would be Ben. Ben is actually a chimpanzee who was rescued by your mother and is now really a member of the family, especially with your mother being gone. So once your father does head out for his trip, it's party time, and for the most part, everyone really seems to be enjoying themselves. But let's not forget, this is a horror movie, so things are about to take a dark turn. Mainly due to the fact that Ben actually had a mongoose sneak into his enclosure that bit him. The big issue with that is that it had rabies and it passed it on to Ben. Ben is now making a bit of a change and is no longer a fun, happy member of the family. He is now a violent creature that is out for blood. So if you and your friends were now trapped with a rage-filled chimpanzee, do you think you would survive? Well, that just so happens to be the plot of the movie that I reviewed today for Askewed Reviews. You've more than likely figured it out, but the movie that I'm talking about today is the 2025 film Primate, directed and co-written by Johannes Roberts. Now, as many of you who watch my content know, I love horror movies, and one of my favorite genres are animal attacks. I think it's mainly just due to the fact that animal attack ones seem a bit more plausible, and that almost makes it scarier. So I was definitely excited to go see this one. Now, mind you, in the past, January horror films have not always been the best, so I definitely didn't walk in expecting too much, but this one very much pleasantly surprised me. So, getting back to what the story is for this one, our main character of Lucy really has not been home since her mother's passing, and things are definitely awkward between her sister and her father. But this is now her opportunity to try and help heal that. She is, however, bringing her best friend with, named Kate. Now, Kate is familiar with her family. She's one of those friends that is almost a member of the family. Now, Kate has decided to invite Hannah to come on this trip. And this, of course, is a little awkward as Lucy and Hannah don't exactly get along. And then, of course, there's that added element where Lucy has had a crush on Nick, who is Kate's brother, for some time. And now that he's single, she might try to see if there's something there, but he does seem to now have an interest in Hannah. Now, once all of the friends do get to Lucy's house, we not only get to meet Erin, who's her sister, and their father Adam, but of course Ben, who is the chimpanzee that lives with them. He seems very friendly at first, and of course, like, oh, such a wonderful pet. But what I really, really enjoy about this movie is the showcasing of why you really should not have a chimpanzee as a pet. They can be incredibly violent and very brutal. Now, obviously, this situation is enhanced by the fact that Ben contracts rabies, but in general, it's really not a good idea to have any kind of primate, monkey, anything like that as a pet. Now, even though it's not too difficult to tell that there probably wasn't an actual chimpanzee used in the movie, that it was all practical effects or maybe even CGI used with an animatronic, but it's done so well. Whoever created Ben for this, it did look realistic enough. Now, in general, when it comes to the story, I liked this one. It's not that it even had to be that in depth, but the way that the story plays out with Ben is absolutely terrifying. And they do such an amazing job of making him a very menacing creature to face off with. What's fascinating about that is that in reality, chimpanzees are crazy strong. Like, you might look at one and go, oh, that thing's so much smaller than me. I could probably take that. You would be wrong. They are extremely strong. And this one's fueled by rabies, so it's got nothing to lose. I also have to say my favorite part about this movie is that no one felt safe. Throughout the entire film, there were moments where I was just like, everybody is going to be dead in this. There's going to be no one but Ben surviving. This is also a film that kept me on the edge of my seat pretty much the entire time. Like, I was so worried about what was going to happen to these people, and I was very much invested in this, and it was just an adrenaline rush the entire time. Now, there haven't been a ton of horror movies yet for this year, but I will say this. At this point, this is definitely the one to beat when it comes to horror movies for 2026. I can't wait to see what else comes out this year. So, for me on my scale, I'm going to give Primate a 4 out of 5. I absolutely recommend checking this out while it's still in theaters. If you're not able to, definitely stream this one. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews. And if you've already seen Primate, let me know what you thought about it in the comments.